Are we all connected? And the answer is yes. We are all immersed in the Earth's magnetic field. The human species is about 7 billion conductive brains, all sharing this field. This field contains enough energy to store the experience of every human being who has ever lived. Suppose you had access to the information of every other brain on this planet. No more secrets.
Behind the scenes of science, there are figures whose groundbreaking research shakes the foundations of what we think we know about the human mind and reality. One such visionary was Dr. Michael Persinger, a neuroscientist whose bold theories and experiments pushed the boundaries of knowledge and placed him at the center of controversy. Dr. Persinger explored the possibility that the Earth's magnetic field could influence human minds in profound and mysterious ways. His findings attracted the interest of various institutions, including the CIA itself. The agency allegedly explored his theories in secrecy, pondering how this mental connectivity could be used for mind control, telepathy, and perhaps something even more sinister. This is the knowledge that the CIA and other intelligence agencies might want to keep away from public awareness. The possibility that our brains are interconnected by an invisible force, an electromagnetic field that shapes thoughts, emotions, and even reality itself. As you delve into this mystery, prepare to explore the implications of a truth that might be more disturbing than any fiction. Imagine for a moment that the Earth is alive, pulsing with energy, like a giant organism whose signals travel through the space around us. What if every thought or emotion you've ever had left an invisible mark on this field, floating like a whisper, waiting to be picked up? Dr. Michael Persinger believed that Earth's magnetic field was not just a passive force of nature, but a vast ocean of information, where the energy of human minds subtly and deeply connects. Just like the strings of a giant web, we emit signals that, though imperceptible, travel through this field, allowing for a deeper connection than any physical contact. The central concept is that our brains, by generating their own electrical and magnetic fields, can resonate with the Earth's magnetic field. This phenomenon could open a channel through which thoughts and information circulate, as if our minds could tune into others, anywhere in the world, without physical barriers. In states of deep meditation, dreams, or altered consciousness, it may be possible to access not only one's own thoughts, but also those of others. This vision suggests that the boundaries between individual consciousness are more permeable than we imagine. The idea of a global mental network, silent and invisible, makes us wonder if, as we sleep, our minds sync with a shared consciousness, fueled by the same magnetic field that surrounds the planet. Imagine the vastness of Earth's magnetic field, encompassing 7 billion human minds, each a spark of consciousness. Dr. Persinger advanced this idea, suggesting that our thoughts do not operate in isolation, but resonate together, creating something larger, a global resonance. This resonance connects memories, emotions, and thoughts in an energetic network where each mind influences and is influenced. From this interaction between human consciousness arises the concept of the human hologram. Persinger described this network as a system where each brain mirrors the other, forming an integrated and complex whole. Like a hologram, where each part contains the whole, each mind, interacting with the magnetic field, could potentially access fragments of other experiences. In this process, individual thoughts or feelings reverberate, generating waves that subtly impact other minds. Imagine how deep fears, for example, when propagated through this network, could create a state of collective anxiety without people fully understanding the source of this shared unease. The concept of the human hologram is the natural evolution of this global resonance. As each individual's thoughts are propagated through the magnetic field, they create a complete image, the sum of all consciousness. Within this holographic network, any idea or emotion can travel quickly, being reflected by other minds. Thus, feelings such as hope or fear, even in their quietest form, have the potential to influence those connected to the field. Waves of fear, in particular, can reverberate with unexpected intensity, sowing collective concerns, while hopes and positive intentions also circulate, promoting feelings of relief and calm. So, when you meditate or lose yourself in thought, you are not isolated. Your mind is connected to this vast field, continuously sharing and receiving information. The Earth continues to pulse silently, feeding this invisible web of consciousness as our minds intertwine in a hologram greater than any one of us alone. Imagine yourself sitting in a dark room, the silence around you allowing your mind to settle. In another room, a distant figure watches a flashing light. Something seemingly simple, a blinking light, triggers an extraordinary effect. Even without seeing this light, your brain reacts in a subtle, almost imperceptible way, as if you were connected to this phenomenon from a distance. Dr. Persinger's experiments demonstrated that two brains, though physically separated, could synchronize when exposed to the same magnetic field. In this experiment, the blinking light acts as a catalyst, traveling through the magnetic field that connects the observers. Your brain, tuned like a musical instrument, picks up the light's frequencies, responding to the stimulus subconsciously, even though you are not physically present to witness the event. This discovery suggests that our brains can operate beyond the physical limits we imagine. The magnetic field, combined with sensory stimuli like light, creates an invisible bridge between minds, allowing information and frequencies to be shared. In this way, the simple blinking of a light is no longer an isolated visual phenomenon, but transforms into a link of communication between minds. What does this mean for human interaction? If our perceptions can be influenced and synchronized remotely, perhaps our minds are always connecting in ways we do not consciously perceive. Every flash of light or shared magnetic pulse between brains could be a key to a much deeper and subtler form of communication than language or touch. As you reflect on this, consider, we are only beginning to explore these invisible connections that could change our understanding of what it truly means to be connected to others. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine a soft glow, not coming from outside, but emanating from within you. Studies suggest that the brain emits photons, tiny particles of light. However, Dr. Persinger believed these photons are not just byproducts of neural activity. They may serve a much deeper purpose, possibly connected to the principles of quantum physics. Quantum entanglement, one of the most intriguing phenomena in science, suggests that two particles, even separated by vast distances, can remain connected, instantly reflecting any change in one to the other. Now, imagine if this principle could be applied to the human brain. What if the photons emitted by your brain were entangled with someone else's, creating an invisible connection between your minds? Perhaps you think of something, and at that very moment, someone thousands of miles away has a similar insight, as if your thoughts were synchronized by a subtle thread of light. This possibility leads us to consider a new form of communication, one that transcends time and space. Think, for example, of those times when you feel an inexplicable connection with someone far away, when both of you have the same thoughts or feelings simultaneously. Is it coincidence, or the result of this quantum entanglement between your photons and theirs? These tiny pulses of light, flowing within our brains, might be the key to a greater connection, a form of communication beyond what we can express with words or gestures. As we begin to understand these phenomena better, a fascinating question arises. What else could these photons reveal about the nature of reality, and how might they help us unlock the deepest secrets of human consciousness? Now, consider the possibility that every thought and experience you've ever had is not lost in the void. What if all your memories, emotions, and insights are recorded beyond your mind, embedded in the very fabric of the Earth? Dr. Persinger presented a bold theory. The Earth's magnetic field might act as a vast universal archive, storing the collective experiences of all human beings who have ever lived. Think of this field as a silent and invisible library where each person, unknowingly, leaves their mark, and you contribute to this vast collection of knowledge as well. Instead of dissipating over time, your thoughts could be preserved in this archive, ready to be accessed at opportune moments. Perhaps that déjà vu when visiting an unfamiliar place or a vivid memory that arises unexpectedly is actually a momentary connection with this repository of human experience, where memories intertwine with those of countless generations. From this perspective, telepathy and other forms of intuitive communication might be more than science fiction. They would be, in fact, a natural extension of this connection to Earth's magnetic field. If the planet stores the thoughts and experiences of all minds that have ever existed, perhaps in deep meditation or reflection, it is possible to access these collective memories. And in doing so, what might you discover? Not just about the lives of others, but about the universal truths that connect us all as human beings. This vision transforms the magnetic field into something much more than a natural force. It becomes a kind of cosmic database, where individual minds find a meeting point. And as we continue to explore these possibilities, the question remains: how far could this connection take us? And what secrets about consciousness and reality does it still hold? Imagine the Earth as a living organism, breathing with its magnetic field in constant flux, shifting as cosmic events unfold. This magnetic field, which connects us all, is not static. It pulses, expands, and contracts, responding to phenomena like solar storms and geomagnetic disturbances. But what happens to our connection, our collective resonance, when this field is disrupted? Dr. Persinger suggested that Earth's geomagnetic activity has a direct impact on the connectivity of our brains. During periods of low geomagnetic activity, our minds may connect more clearly and deeply with Earth's magnetic field, facilitating the exchange of thoughts, emotions, and memories. It's as if the space between minds is free of interference, allowing signals to travel more smoothly and accurately. However, when a geomagnetic storm occurs, it's like intense static invades these connections, creating a kind of cosmic noise that interferes with the transmission of thoughts and sensations. This interference can make us feel disconnected, isolated, or unable to access deeper understanding. Could we be reacting, unknowingly, to the fluctuations of Earth's magnetic field? Perhaps those moments of deep attunement with the world around us, contrasted with times when everything seems out of sync, are the result of geomagnetic changes affecting our brains. Solar storms, by interfering with the magnetic field, may also affect people's moods and mental clarity, like invisible waves disturbing each person's internal balance. If this is true, understanding these geomagnetic fluctuations could allow us to navigate these ups and downs with greater awareness. Perhaps by developing a deeper understanding of the effects of these disturbances, we can learn to find harmony even in the midst of a magnetic storm, balancing our minds and maintaining attunement even when cosmic chaos tries to disconnect us. Reflecting on everything we've explored, the Earth's magnetic field, the resonance between minds, the photons that connect us, and the memories stored in the magnetic fabric of the planet, it becomes clear that the limits of human consciousness may be far more expansive than we ever imagined. Dr. Persinger's pioneering work invites us to contemplate a future where our minds are not confined to our physical bodies. but a part of a vast global network, interconnected by the same forces that shape the Earth. Just as humanity was once fascinated by the power of electricity or the mystery of bird flight, we now stand at the threshold of a new frontier, the interconnected mind. What would be possible if we could fully access this global mental connection? How could it transform the way we communicate, the depth of mutual understanding, and our very experience of life? Perhaps in the not-too-distant future, we will look back at these early signs of brain connectivity as the dawn of a new era. An era where physical distance no longer limits our ability to communicate, and where the collective knowledge of humanity is always within reach. But this revolution will not necessarily begin with technological advances or major scientific discoveries. It begins with each of us. The true transformation starts with the recognition that we are co-creators of this vast web of interconnected minds. The key to unlocking this collective intelligence and accessing it is within our reach, and it may begin with simple practices like meditation. Now, you have the opportunity to take the next step on this journey of mind expansion. Together, we are opening the doors to a new level of human consciousness and connection. To help you connect more deeply with the magnetic field that binds us all, we have developed a series of audio tools that will guide you through this process. These tools are designed to elevate your consciousness and facilitate your connection to this global network of minds. Click the link on the screen or in the comments below to begin this transformative journey. If this message resonated with you, leave a comment with the words, "It made sense to me."